Oh my god.
Bonus episode on the Range Rover. So I'm going to talk you through what we're doing today. I've actually got a camera guy with me today. It's quite nice. Say hello, Matt.
Hello, Matt.
Hello, Matt. So I thought I'd just talk you guys through what we've been doing and what we're hoping to achieve today. This is the big obvious one first of all. So as you can see here, Matt spent most of the day removing the remains of the battery tray. I'll show you what some bits of it here. This is just the mangled remains here. It was the battery tray. Basically, when I put these in, I had to cut this part of the battery tray off to accommodate the airbox for the diesel. So we decided just to put a new one in just because we need to and we're getting it painted. So that's going to go like that. So we're welding that in very shortly. Then the other thing was that I wish I hadn't done again was just down here. If Matt comes around here, you'll see this point here is where the radiator should mount. Now you can't buy those panels, so we had a little competition to see who can make the best one, and luckily I won. As you can see, mine's not bent at all, and Matt's is completely bent. So this just slots in here. As you can see, this is where the original welds were, and that's where it was. So that just literally goes. Let's use the one that's not bent. That literally just your one, yeah. That literally just goes like that. Then it'll have a hole through the middle, and that's what the radiator slots on. So that's that. Then if you come over here with me, we've got, these are the two manifolds. Now I opted to go for cast manifolds instead of 421s, whatever they're called, just simply because those 421s tend to boil the clutch slave cylinder pipe. So we've gone for these. Now this one here had a lot of stuck studs in it. As you can see, I've actually just drilled them out. I did drill them out slowly and try and reveal the threads, but there was nothing there. So it's now just going to be nutted and bolted. Obviously, we're going to sand all the faces back down. This is just painted for now. Then come this way. We've got this to clean up. That's the gearbox cross member. That's Matt's job. I haven't told him what he's doing, but he's doing that. And then over to the Range Rover. As you can see, it's not been anywhere. I haven't touched it for a long time. Here she is in her glory. So just to recap, everything's pretty much done on it. I've got a new wiring loom is coming on its way from Auto Sparks, and we're going to put the exhaust system on today. Well, the exhaust manifolds. We've also got these to clean up. These are the, whatever you call them, the elbows for the carburetors, and they go like that, something like that. So we've got to clean those up, and then we've got, if you come around here, the airbox. So I bare metal this. I know it's the wrong one for my one because it should have a long thin intake spout, but this is what I've got, so this is what I'll use. Just need to do a little repair here, as we can see. So we're just going to drill this out and replicate this bit and weld it back on. Take these out, pull the filters out. I mean, as you can see, because it was an off-roader, everything is just completely full of silicone. It was all completely glued together. Oh, there you go, there's a perfect example. That one's completely full. So we'll be taking that apart again. Obviously I've already bare metaled it, or taken as much down as I can. I've got a few little dents, but I'm not too fussed about that. It's just mainly this thing, which I don't really know what that does. I think it's actually just a drain. I think it actually had like a bottle cap glued over it, so we'll make that and put a little cover on it. But yeah, that's basically it. So we're going to start off doing this today, and we'll see how far we get, but I thought it'd just be nice to do a little bonus Christmas video. So bear with us, we'll set the welder up and we'll start doing some welding. We'll see, maybe Matt might be doing some welding too, I'm not sure. Let's get going.
Recording.
Right, so we're going to start off by welding up these holes. So you've got 4 holes here, as you can see, 1, 2, 3, 4. These I drilled for the airbox for the old SLTI engine. Got to weld those up, and then we'll start mocking up and getting this battery tray in. So we'll start doing this. Oh, that's so awkward to get to.
Come around here.
Hang over this wing. There we go, nice and warped as well. To be honest with you, I'm not that bothered because these panels were second hand and they're already pretty bent all over the place. So obviously this Range Rover is never going to be perfection, but I just don't want to have extra holes, and then if I put the battery tray in, they start winding me up. I'm not going to be able to get to them. So we'll grind those flat, we'll flat disc, and then we'll mock up the battery tray, which you can see down here. I've already drilled the spot weld holes as well, you can see. So you just need to flat those down, just make them a little bit more smooth. And that's one thing I've always realised with this sort of thing. Don't leave these burrs on. A, they bloody irks, they're sharp. B, they can actually keep it away from fitting properly. So you can think it's up against it, you weld it, next thing you know, you've got like a mil gap behind it, which lets loads of water in and just looks crap. So back in a minute when we'll have flattened these down and put the battery tray in. Bear with us, we'll be back in a minute. Right, so we've put the panel in, everything's been cleaned up, these have been welded and ground flat. Now, the panel is actually a bit rubbish really. I don't know if you can see, but it actually bows down here in this corner. So what I've done is I've put a little tack here and then just some mole grips here. So what I'll do is I'll fill in these spot welds here, because these are all exactly where they should be. A little bit of panel beating in between. Then we'll cut this and then we'll bend this corner up. So I couldn't bend it on the floor because of this pressing. I think it's just a bit of a bad pressing. It wasn't a cheap panel either, but as you can see, I've taken off all the rust and it's been protective painted underneath and all that sort of stuff, so it won't rust. So yeah, so we'll just fill these in here and here. This bit, a little bit of panel beating, and then we'll come back, cut that weld, and then we'll bend that corner up. As I say, we're not aiming for perfection here, because if we were, I certainly wouldn't be using these wings, but there we go. So let's just give this a little clean. There we go, brand new. Couple that are going to need to be pushed over a little bit, obviously, because where we removed the old one. These two and that one look good, just that one's a little bit low, and these ones need a little bit of adjustment. Right, so we just need to do a little bit of panel beating. We'll sort this one out here and sort these ones out. I will just do this last one in the corner actually while I'm here, and I'll probably do this top one here. I won't be welding the spot welds from underneath, simply because I just won't be able to do a good enough job. So it will be a seam weld, seam weld, seam weld, seam weld, and then underneath I can do the dip just down there. It's just because I want it to be strong, obviously, because it is a battery tray. So I'm not trying to go for perfection here, although it will look good from the top either way. So I'm just going to fill this last little weld in here, then we'll just do a little bit of panel beating, and then we will come back to you. Perfect. So, as you can now see, this is all in. Very happy with this. So, I opted just to spot weld it all the way along here, all the way along there, and along there. And then I've gone for a seam weld, as you can see, along here, and along here. That's just because I couldn't get to it underneath properly and I'd rather it was better. Now I've also done this, so that's the radiator mount, as you can see. Pretty happy with how that's gone. I left the original tabs and I've just welded there, top and bottom. I might need to make the holes bigger, but again, that's not a massive issue. So next, we're just going to put a little bit of primer on this, just spot it all over the bits and pieces. Might just use random paint, because then it's going off to the paint shop for them to finish it off. But yeah, very happy with that. I think I'll probably put a seam sealer across here, and I'll probably stick one down the back here as well. I'm not 100% sure if I'm going to do that yet. Just obviously it stops any moisture getting trapped in there. But yeah, very happy with how that's going. So you'll join me in a minute. We'll put a little bit of paint on there, and then we're going to go and bolt the exhaust manifolds over there. But before we do that, this Land Rover here, I did this for a friend. So I stripped it and we had it painted and redid all the interior bits and pieces, new headlining and stuff. He is thinking about selling it, so if anybody is interested in a really nice TD5 110, then let me know. It's had the roof, it's been colour matched to the Wolf wheels. It's got a full MOT. I think it's a one owner car, about 100,000 miles on it. But it needs a bit of a clean, obviously. I was driving it the other day. But as you can see, it's, you know, full Exmoor trim carpets in there, original seats. You see the headlining in there is all fiberglass as well. So it's a nice car. It's an air-conditioned car as well. But yeah, anyway, if anybody's interested, just comment and I'll find out how much he wants for it. But it's just down here for a few remedial little bits and pieces. But if anybody is interested in one of those, it's a very nice example of that. But yeah, we're going to go start putting those exhaust manifolds on, but we'll just put a little bit of paint on this first. So you'll join me in a minute when we're putting the manifolds on. So yeah. Well, it's the next day. I've lost my cameraman, so it's now just me. This was the final result from yesterday. So that's all welded in. Very happy with that. And then over here, these are the manifolds we saw. So the only thing I've done is I've just sanded down the mating surfaces, as you can see with that one, and all the flanges. Now, I've decided not to go any further today because I've just ordered my full exhaust system. So I've gone for a nice exhaust system. So I thought I'd just do it all at the same time. So that's as far as we've got now. This I'm just taking off to the paint shop, and I think it's, I don't know what day it is, 23rd of December, something like that. So this is pretty much me done. But I just wanted to put out a video for everyone just to watch on Boxing Day or whenever I release it. So stay tuned, and as soon as I get some new parts, we'll throw this together. Thanks for watching.